Hi, this is Katie. Good morning. It is not morning. I think it's like 1 p.m. Good afternoon. I am going to be vlogging a little bit today, and at least the first portion is going to be very, very, very difficult to film. I don't even know if that's going to be the whole video, or maybe after that I'll go do something else. But in about an hour or so, I am going to go say goodbye to my Yaris. So if you've watched my videos over the last month, you would know that I got in a car accident and I was injured and my car got totaled. And that Yaris, a lot of you guys know how much that car means to me. I lived in that car on and off for years. It was the only car I ever owned. I had it for 15 years, almost 300,000 miles on that car. I drove it all around the country. It has been to all the lower 48 states with me. And I got really attached to that car, and I have been for a long time. It was more my home than anything else. And I have been putting this day off for a few weeks, or a couple weeks at this point, but I have to go say goodbye to my car, and I'm going to release it. They're going to be taking it. The insurance people are going to be taking my car. And so I don't want to do this, right? That's why I've been putting it off for a couple weeks, but procrastination is not a good thing. And so I need to actually just get this done. And I have to just remind myself that God is with me, but this is just going to be really, really difficult. But so I just have a couple things to do before I leave the house, but I just want to say hi now and do a little intro now. And then I'm going to bring you guys over there with me. I did already get everything out of my car, all the pins and patches on the ceiling and everything else that I owned in that car. I got out, several weeks ago, but I just want to go double check that everything's out of there and go say goodbye. And again, I'll film a little bit, and I'm going to introduce my new car to my Yaris. I have a new Toyota Corolla Cross, a little SUV. So I'm going to introduce them and properly say goodbye to my other car. And I know that some people, especially if you've had several cars at this point, or just, depending on how you use your car, I know that some people get more attached to their car than other people. And especially since I used to live in my car and I've traveled with it for years, and it's the only car I've ever had, I know that some people might be like, hey, it's just a car, who cares? But to me, it's it was my home. It was my home. And so it just is a big deal for me. But I understand that God protected me in that accident. My car protected me in that accident. And I have to take this next step. I have my new car, and I got that 2 weeks ago or so at this point. And honestly, it still does not feel like my car. It still just feels like I'm driving somebody else's car. But I think that happens to kind of anyone who gets a new car. I don't even think that's just a special case for me. I kind of think anytime you get a new car for the first little while, it just kind of feels different. But it's still just a very overwhelming thing for me. And this video will probably be the last one that is purposefully kind of focused on my car accident and all that kind of stuff. But coming up, I am gonna go on adventures in my new car and stuff, and I have to be open to the idea that this is going to be my new car for a very long time. And I will have a lot of memories in this car, and I will go on a lot of adventures in this car and everything, And I asked, I don't know if I've talked to you guys about it on YouTube, but I know that I asked on Instagram, that I wanted to take something from my car, and what should I take? I was thinking one of the mirrors. A couple people recommended the little Yaris emblem or the car key and things like that. And honestly, besides all of my belongings, which I did take, I actually, initially I was like, oh, I want to take something. But I actually don't think I'm going to, except for maybe the only thing I'm thinking is if there's a little chip of paint that's coming off on the outside, I might take that and put it in a locket or something like that. But besides that, I am going to, either get a little keychain that's the shape of my Yaris, or get maybe commission a painting or something like that. I might do something like that. So if any of you guys are creative in that way, please email me. My email's in my description. Whether you make keychains or you paint or you design things or, a little 3D model or anything like that. But yeah, in terms of like, I really thought I was going to take something from my car. And I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to. I don't know. I don't feel God telling me to. And that's one of the things that I've been learning lately is what is my decision and what is God's decision. And I think I spoke about that in a video from a week or two ago of like, it has always been my decision that if anything happened to my Yaris, I would get it fixed. I would figure out a way to get it fixed no matter what. And I really realized after the accident that that was my decision. That was not me including God in that decision. And I don't want to make decisions like that without God, you know? And there are going to be some things that we don't, you know, like hear a direct answer, or he's not telling us exactly, yes, this is where you go, this is what you do, blah, blah. But I generally can tell whether it's from feelings of conviction or certain things like that, whether something is a desire of God or direction from God or leadership from God. I can generally tell. And just, yeah, the idea of like taking the emblem or taking the key or something from my car just didn't feel right. And so, yeah. So anyway, I've been talking for a long time. I'm basically still procrastinating on doing this, honestly. So yeah, I actually think this might be the whole video because I've already been filming for 9 minutes. So this might be the whole video of just us going to see my car, filming in there for the last time. I'm going to go. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a little bit. When we get to my car right now is just still parked at like the shop. And so I'm just going to head over there and say goodbye to my car. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay. So again, I'm not going to show you like where it got hit or anything, but I can still just go inside right here. So I got hit on my driver's side. And again, I'm not going to show you any of that, but I guess I can just like film right here for a second. I'm in my passenger seat. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what to say. But obviously I got everything out. I took all the pins and patches off my ceiling several weeks ago. I just parked my new car like right up against my Yaris. I don't want to say goodbye to this car. I don't want to. But I know that it's time, and I know that like God is with me through this. I don't know if I can take these. All right, total 180, but my Easy Pass, hold on. This might work. My Easy Pass is like a plasticky Velcro kind of thing. And I have the actual Easy Pass, obviously, but I want to see if I can stick it up in my new car. Ow. Okay. I'll put these in my pocket for now. Yeah, so I like literally don't know what to say. This is the last time that I'm ever going to be in my Yaris. This car was so good to me. And I'm gonna miss it so much. Like this is my home. Like this still feels like my home. Like this feels right being in this car. And I know that I'm going to eventually feel like my new car is my car. I know that. And I know that I'm gonna love it. I know I'm gonna go on so many adventures. But still, this is my baby. This is my home. And I have to, again, like I don't see it as like I have to get over it. I don't see it anything like that. I just see it more as like accepting it and like truly seeing life for what it is and understanding that in reality, heaven is my home. And this was a temporary home on earth, and I appreciate it and I love it and I miss it. But that, again, I don't even want to say like I have to move on. I don't want to say stuff like that, but I just have to like accept that this was temporary and my time with this car is done and it's time for the next. I already double checked everything. I'm gonna go and just kind of hang out in my car for a minute, just by myself, and take some pictures and stuff. And so yeah, I will just talk to you guys in a few minutes. It's been like, I don't know, 15 minutes and I'm like losing it. I know people make fun of people for crying on the internet, but this is just life. I like really don't want to say goodbye to this car. I love this car so much. It's my home. It's my home. It's my home on earth, I mean, and I don't. If you have any desire to make fun of me right now, please just click off the video, because I know a lot of you actually understand like how much this car means to me. Okay, I'm gonna give myself like 5 more minutes and then go. I miss this car so much. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I knew that was gonna be difficult, but I feel heartbroken. And like, I don't need to keep repeating all the same things. Like, that was my home and I lived in that car and I traveled in that car. You guys know all of that. Like, it's just, that was really, really, really hard to say goodbye to that car. And like, I don't know. It's still, obviously, the car accident in general was traumatic. And so seeing my car again and having to sign the paper at the shop so that the insurance can take it and all that stuff, like the other people's insurance can take it, and everything going on, like, it was just kind of a reminder of the trauma. And then, you know, I'm still in pain from the accident, and saying goodbye to my car, it's just like, it's a lot for me, and I'm really, really sad. Like, really, really sad. And again, I'm sure there's gonna be some of you who want to make fun of me or whatever, but just please don't. There's no reason for that. If you're feeling something negative, you can keep that to yourself, because this is just really hard for me. And I'm another person here, you know, and we all feel things differently, and see the world differently. And this is one of the hardest times of my life. This past month or 5 weeks or whatever it's been at this point has been one of the hardest times of my life, because of the trauma, the accident, the pain I'm in, the even idea of not having my car anymore, let alone actually not having my car anymore. It's just one of the hardest times of my life. But I appreciate a lot of you guys have been so kind. I did end up taking just like a couple of paint chips that were like falling off of my car, and I think I'm gonna sometimes sometimes certain movements hurt my chest and my back more, and then sometimes it just randomly hurts. And like right now, like my chest and my back, but like here straight through hurts. Anyway, I did get a couple just like little paint chips off of my car. And what I think I want to do is kind of just place them like in a little circle-ish or whatever, and then like laminate it, like go get self-laminating paper at Target and kind of laminate it and then cut it out. So I have like a little laminated piece of it, and then put it in a locket is kind of what I'm thinking of doing. And so I'm gonna go look for a locket. And if I do all of that, obviously I will show you, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But at least for now, it's just little pieces of paint in a tissue that I have. But yeah, that car was a really big part of my life, and it still is. It's always going to be a big part of my life in my 20s and my 30s. Now it's just past tense. And again, we're all different, right? And we react to things differently, and things affect us differently. But that car is and was a very big part of my life. And it treated me so well. And saying goodbye to it feels like I've given up on it, even though logically I know that that's not the case. But that's kind of how it feels. And I'm just sad and I'm heartbroken, and sometimes I get really hard on myself, and I even know some people in the comments are like, oh, just get over it. And sometimes I get hard on myself of when I have certain like strong emotions. But this one, I like kind of have to let myself feel it, you know, that terminology, like let yourself feel your emotions. And I think that that's what I have to do. So I think that instead of saying you shouldn't be sad about it, get over it, like it's not a big deal, whatever, I have to just say, yeah, this is really hard, and it's okay to be sad, while also focusing on the good here and focusing on God and focusing on the next steps. You know, it's not necessarily wallowing in it, it's just acknowledging, and then while focusing on the next steps. And a lot of that's just really hard for me. But yeah, I know that, again, I'm not gonna ever use the terminology like I have to move on, I have to get over it. Anything that's dismissive, I don't want to dismiss myself, but I want to be honest, and I want to focus on what God wants me to focus on through it, you know? And so I do think this is gonna be my last video really focused on the accident. I might, you know, still mention it here and there. And then obviously we're gonna go on a bunch of adventures in my brand new car. And so I'll kind of talk about that and everything. But we're just, this is so hard for me. Honestly, editing this is going to be very difficult. And again, if you have something mean or rude to say, please just move on. Please just don't say it and move on. You can go watch a video that you enjoy. But for everyone else, which is the overall majority of you, thank you guys for being here through this. Again, I know that most of you understand how difficult this is for me and how traumatic it is for me, everything combined. Getting in a car accident is terrifying in general. And then just me with my attachment to my car. I'm not gonna say it makes it worse. I'm just gonna say it makes it like different. You know, like I have different things going on in my brain. But I absolutely know that the accident could have been worse. And I am so grateful that even though I'm in pain, I was able to walk away. I mean, really, I got put on a stretcher in the ambulance, but you guys know what I mean, the terminology. I was able to walk away. And I am very aware of that. I'm very, very aware of that. That if I did not swerve at the exact time I swerved, if I did not see the other car, if I didn't swerve at the angle, if I swerved a second later, if they, you know, I'm well aware. I'm well aware. However, I don't want to like dismiss my feelings of this still being difficult. Even though knowing it could have been worse, it was still difficult. And so if you guys go through something like that too, if telling yourself it could have been worse is actually helpful for you, then that's one thing, right? But if you tell yourself that in a dismissive way, or if other people tell you that in a dismissive way, don't listen to it. Because yes, things could have been worse, but that does not mean that what's happening does not affect you. It's kind of like saying if you broke your arm, well, it could have been worse, I could have broken two, but you still broke one. that still sucks, you know? So again, if saying that it could have been worse actually helps you because you're more in a gratitude mindset, that's one thing. But I think a lot of people just want to dismiss their own feelings or dismiss other people's feelings because they want to feel like they had it worse or they had it better or whatever. And it's like, guys, like, we all feel things differently, but we're all allowed to experience life. Like, you're allowed to experience your life. So if you're going through something right now that's hard for you, but you're trying to gaslight yourself or dismiss yourself, or someone else is trying to say, oh, who cares, whatever, pray about it. See what the real answer is. Because yeah, maybe it is time to start focusing on the good and focusing on God and the positivity, but it's probably still okay to feel your feelings. You know, it depends on the situation, of course, but it takes a lot of honesty and a lot of listening to what God says and not just letting people dismiss your feelings. So just thank you for most of you being here, just so kind. And I know that you're understanding of this, and I really appreciate it. And I'm just grateful that you guys are here. I know that a lot of you have been with me for a long time, and that not seeing me in my Yaris anymore might even be weird for you, you know? And so I really do believe at some point this car will feel more like my car, because right now it just still feels like I'm driving somebody else's car. But I know at some point, I'm sure it will feel like my car, and we are going to go on a lot of adventures. And honestly, I'm going to let myself be sad, but also just really be aware that I still have a future, and it's just a different future that I was expecting, but I still have one. And so that comes with confusion and sadness, but gratitude, you know? So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna, over the next couple weeks, I'm gonna take this car. I think we're gonna go to the beach, and we're gonna go to some baseball games and stuff, you know? So we're definitely gonna have a lot of like spring. What month is it? April. It's 80 degrees in Florida, so I forgot what season it was, but I'm gonna have a lot of like, you know, spring and summer vlogs coming up in this car. And I'm gonna allow myself to be sad. This is really hard, but I'm gonna continue to pray about it and to focus on God through it, and to at some point really be focused more on the next steps in the future, you know? But like you've seen in the last couple of videos, like, it's not like I've been sad this whole entire time, you know? Like getting the new car, like I was actually excited about it, you know? And not because I didn't care about my other car, but just because like this is a nice car. And I do think that God led me to get this car after the accident, you know? And so I have had bouts of joy through this. It's just very emotional, and it's stuff that I'm just going to be continuously working through. And so, yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really do hope that you're subscribed, because we are going to go on some adventures in this new car. And then also, I'm definitely going to be talking more about some mindset stuff in the next couple months. And so I really hope that you're subscribed. And yeah, I guess it's going to be it. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.